on a second. There are distinctly multiple different people here. There's a lady, short hair, glasses. She's not getting up for a whole lot. She's either short or she's just chilling in one spot, grandma style. The older male, who I interpreted as Fred, seemed kind of like a frail old man that didn't really, body deteriorates, can't really hold his weight. I don't know if you've seen someone who's like around the age of like 60, 70, but at a point you lose your limberness. That would be the older male that I have on the other side. This older male, whether he is yours or whether he is your fiance's, I'm scribbling all over my piece of paper, but it feels so good. Whether he's yours or whether he's, I feel like he might be yours, but he brings the fiance through. Okay, and so now ALS. Tell me about this. Okay. What confuses me is that you don't have anything of his, but he also, in his category, he tells me that he ends up passing in a way that's perceived tragically. And then what he shows me, I'm going to put this underneath the book now that I've got my brains back together for a second. See, you can see all my scribbling that I've done. So down here, and I was like, tell me about the ALS. So he tells me he's before his time. He tells me it happens in like a couple of bursts or waves, and then this is a distinct decline in, like, you can see like in one day he would decline to the next step. Okay, so he also tells me, he shows me a hat. I know you said you didn't have anything, whoever that was to, and he shows me a hat or something that he wears or a piece of him in honor of his memory. And this being your fiance, how did we end up with nothing physical? Also, he says that he's visited you in dreams multiple times, very vividly, very quickly. I feel like it might look like he's like coming at you or just very close to you, but visited you in dreams. She doesn't have a lot of hope for that type of stuff, Kato. And I was like, I don't know. You still visit her. She still has dreams of... Oh, you do have a cap. Okay. See, bam. See, we just got to give him a minute. You just got to organize it. Old man just made it confusing. Okay, and so were you taking care of him right at the end? And remember when he was taking responsibility, and then we talked about that water being slapped off the edge, like knowing you should do something, but you don't necessarily get there fast enough, or maybe he has, I don't know a lot about ALS obviously, but it feels like however happens at him, it comes like in waves, like distinct declines. And so something makes me feel like, we didn't know, or we didn't think it was as bad as it was on like that last burst. Whew! The old man is confused, right? Eternal Tarot 5. Block. Stupid. Okay, I think I blocked them. Bye, right? Oh my, I found my girl. What's up, girl? Okay, it started slow, but once diagnosed, it progressed really quickly. Were you the one taking care of him? He tells me by the time it was like all together, like it's like the equivalent of moving the hospital bed in, and like just like a week later he passes. Like by the time you catch up to what that sign symbol, to what that stage of whatever he's going through is, he's on to almost the next stage of it. I gotta put ×3 on your reading because I kept recording and unrecording to recirculate energy, because at first I don't think he necessarily wanted it all recorded, but he seems like a very private person, to be honest. Love you too. He seems like a pretty private person. And then this lady comes over on the other side, that older lady with the glasses. She said she has short hair, and then she shows me a handful of pills. So she passed of something like maybe we're maintaining or taking medication for right at the end. And then she goes, no, he was in the hospital. And I told him we needed to go back home. And I told him he needed to go back home to his family. Did he? Dying of suspense over here. He was in the hospital. I told him he needed to go back to his family. I don't feel like we were moving a whole lot at that point. Did he go back to his family? Just in the nick of time. By the time they got the hospital bed in there, bam, it was done. By the time that they made the accommodation, boom, I was gone. And then literally my throat is closing and I'm like, hard time breathing, hard time communicating. Probably get home and go into like a comatose state. Alright, and then that lady on the other side is your other primary guardian angel. And then she shows me a handful of pills, so she passes something that she maintained medically over time. So I was not able to be with him in the end. I think that is, and how, and so the only thing you have left is a hat. What'd you do? Just give everything? Just keep like giving and make sure the family has stuff? Okay, so he says on a yearly basis you do something to like honor his memory, like on a regular basis, and he points that out. He loves, like, it could be a birthday or your anniversary, or it's like almost something that you still celebrate, and he says thank you for honoring his memory in this way. And then he just like draws me a cute clock. You weren't with him at the end, but you were making self-sacrifices. She looks at my picture every once in a while. She just did it, Kato. She just looked at one of my pictures, just took it out, just went down memory lane, just recently. Took him within a, okay, hold on. Took him within a year and a half, and we did not live together, so I ended up having nothing but his hat that he brings through and talks about. He still talks about the way you choose to honor his memory, and he loves it, and he's thankful. I feel like you guys had a good. It sucks that that he had to go back with his family, and that you couldn't go with him, or maybe you didn't feel welcome to go with him. And then, remember when he was talking about in the beginning where someone was taking care of him right at the end? You're like, no, I didn't get a chance to. Yeah, you were he was being taken care of. I think they were doing a proper job. I don't think anyone had the skills to like really handle it. And then it happened really quickly once he got home. Like, yeah. He tells me now days, but he told me before a week. Okay, and then you have that old lady on the other side, and then you have that male that brought him through. Look how much scribbling your energy does to me. We were just planning our life together, and we were going to move in together after we ended up getting married. Oh, it was all time because, like, how do you run home as the girlfriend? You could run home as the wife, you know. How is his family going to coddle you? You were just the girlfriend to it. So you probably felt like you were making such like a spot or like a slice in his life, and it probably felt like it was kind of getting, you feel like it wasn't enough time for it to matter, which it does. He feels like it matters. Love of his life, hands down, though. Absolutely.